Ah, there you are. I wonder when you'd be back. Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting Cruise and Stay adventure show from Cruise1st TV. Our teams work around the clock to get you the biggest, most luxurious and exciting cruise adventures all around the world. Tie-in stays to make the best of your time in fabulous cities and make the bucket list dreams a reality. This time, we're cruising with stylish and beautiful celebrity cruises, and we're on the Celebrity Edge for all three of our feature adventures. These are all for early 2026, which feels a long way away, but it's the best time to lock in prices with us now, paying just a low deposit today. We're heading to Australia and New Zealand with Celebrity, which is very, very exciting. We'll be enjoying their classic drinks package and Wi-Fi on all of these trips as well. So let's not sit here gassing about Australia and New Zealand and get you there. The first 18-night trip starts on the 2nd of November in 2026, flying first from the UK to stunning Sydney in Australia. It's a long journey, so a long and relaxing 5 nights in a hotel here in Sydney to enjoy all of this on your screen right now. Do you know what? When you get there, when you've unpacked in the hotel, when you've got yourself the right way round and whatever, you've got 5 nights, so plenty of time, you will stand at the harbour or stand on a beach or stand somewhere in Sydney, I guarantee it, and you will just say to yourself, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe, especially if you've never been to Australia before. I count myself on that list as well so far. And I do think you will have that absolute pinch me moment of, I'm in Australia. I can't believe it. I'm the other side of the world. And once you've got over that, there are so many adventures to have, let me tell you. Fabulous beaches, of course, nearby. Lots of sightseeing in Sydney. It's a lovely, lovely city to go and explore. You've got 5 nights to do it, which is brilliant, before you cruise on this beauty, Celebrity Edge. Now, you're on board Edge for 10 fabulous nights. You've got classic drinks package. You've got Wi-Fi included right the way through your cruise. Having Wi-Fi is really good, by the way, because you can actually do a little bit of research if you want to for the ports you're about to go to, and kind of make your mind up as to whether you want to make your own arrangements and just wander around a place, or is something specific you want to go and see. Or of course you can look through the list of excursions that Celebrity have put together, where quite often you can get maybe 2 or 3 of the highlight places to go and see in each of these ports done in a day on a single tour. The ship itself, though, let's talk about that. Oh, my word. Now, this is a ship I have been lucky enough to be on, and she's just beautiful. If you've never cruised Celebrity before and you start with Celebrity Edge, oh, my word, you'll be bowled away. For the price that you pay, just the sheer beauty, the way everything has been decorated like the very, very finest hotel that quite often you would only ever stay out for 1 night, because that's all you could afford. Do you know what I mean? You'd have 1 night in a lovely hotel and you go, right, okay, that was lovely, but it comes and goes as a memory. This whole cruise is just absolutely packed full of the best dining that you have seen. I mean, the lap of luxury wherever you go, whether you go just to the included dining, and of course, if you treat yourself further, there's specialty dining on board. Everything's done beautifully and smartly, and yet looking at the ship, you kind of feel to yourself, okay, well, I'm in Australia. Am I going to have to be dressed up in my jacket and Sunday best every single day for something like this? Not a word of it at all. Very, very relaxed. This is all about unashamed luxury. This is about you kind of reaping the rewards of the fruits of your labour, really, because you are enjoying just the most spectacular surroundings, and I can't think of a better part of the world to enjoy the beauty of this ship and everything that it has to offer. And of course you can find out lots more about the ship on our website as well at cruise1st.tv, but all 3 of the offers in this show are on Celebrity Edge, so I'll focus on different elements of it as we come back onto the ship a little bit later. But such a relaxed affair as well. Whatever you fancy doing, it's kind of there for you. No one's by the clock, no one's in a rush. It's just a really, really lovely affair. There's plenty to do. You can be as lively or as relaxed as you want to. And when it comes to the spa, prepare for a long, long list of available treatments for you to indulge in. I mean, you could spend most of this cruise in the spa just indulging the A to Z of spa treatments. It's amazing. So remember, we're in Sydney, 10 nights we are, a day at sea, and we are up in Brisbane. You can take a tour to Australia Zoo here, which is the one that was founded by Steve Irwin. His son now is in command there at the Australia Zoo, and it's like a conservation centre as well. It's amazing to see. Lots more in that area. Day at sea to Airlie Beach. We're on the Queensland coast here, so we're perfectly placed for the Great Barrier Reef. That's what most people will want to do on their tours and excursions out of this port, is go and do some snorkeling, glass bottom boats, loads of different ways to see it, of course. Cairns is next. Yorkeys Knob is the port. You can take a tour to the Skyrail Rainforest Cableway here as well, which is brilliant. Gives you great 360-degree views over the West Tropics World Heritage Rainforest. To Port Douglas next, another port perfect for the Great Barrier Reef and snorkeling there, which would be really, really lovely to do. But you also have the Whitsunday Islands here as well, so you'll be offered lots and lots of different choices here in this port. Then we are cruising by, this is a day of scenic cruising actually, and this Willis Island, very, very tiny island, mostly inhabited by birds and 3 people who work on a weather station. Fascinating, and you're cruising right by there. It's a really, really lovely day. Then we've got a couple of days at sea, and we are back into Sydney. And that, unfortunately, is where we need to leave and fly back to the UK. But you know what? All good things must come to an end. But what an amazing holiday this will have been. If you've longed, and I mean longed, a lot of people have spent the whole of their lives thinking, oh, Australia, one day, one day, one day, one day. And you've put it off and you've put it off and put it off. And all of a sudden, your life clock is saying, oh, actually, you've got quite a few miles on the clock now, haven't you? And you've still not been to Australia. Why haven't you done it so far? That's a good question, that, as well, Leslie, isn't it? For the big holiday plans, you think to yourself, OK, what's been stopping me? Because this makes it really, really simple, doesn't it? A holiday like this just makes it dead easy. We've made all the arrangements for you right now. We're planning for 2026, which is brilliant. The package itself, let me just tell you what it includes. So it's your flight from the UK over to Sydney in Australia, 5 nights in a hotel there because you've had a long journey, so you need plenty of time to chill out, relax and see Sydney and everything it has to offer. So 5 nights there in a hotel. Then you're on board Celebrity Edge for 10 nights. You've got your classic drinks package included. You've got some Wi-Fi included as well, which is brilliant. And then you are cruising around the shores of Australia, including the greatest ports for the Great Barrier Reef. So if you want to go out and see that, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, isn't it? The whole cruise in 5-star new luxury. Just so beautiful. You end the cruise back in Sydney and we include the flight back to the UK. We're not going to leave you there in Australia, are we? Deposits today of just £199 each. What do you think the price tag will be? It's a 5-star cruise. It's all inclusive with the drinks and the Wi-Fi. You've got the 5-night stay in Sydney. What are you thinking? Honestly, in this day and age, which I find myself saying all the time, let me show you. Let me show you how good this can be. This is why we do what we do. This is why we're forever making new shows the whole time. Because just when we think we've seen the best offers, something like this comes along and you think to yourself, well, if you've cruised Celebrity before and you love the whole luxury vibe, relaxed luxury, sunshine luxury, we're in Australia, but you're thinking, I could never get that kind of length of holiday to the other side of the world and have all of those inclusions by arranging it myself at this kind of price tag. And it's true to say as well, you've got such an amazing deal on your hands there, and a deposit today of just £199 each will lock in that price tag for you right now. There's never been a better time to do this. The value of the drinks and Wi-Fi in this, just for your information, is nearly $1,100 worth per person. That's worth bearing in mind as well, because it is part of your package too. Here's the upgrade prices on board. I love talking about cruises, honestly. I love talking about these holidays because when I can get to the end of a story like this, and people say to me all the time, watch the channel, I listen to all your spiel and then I wait to see what the price is. And you always surprise me. And it's nothing to do with me personally, it's all our team behind the scenes at Cruise1st. They are tenacious, is the word, at seeking out the very, very best value deals for you. And that is amazing when you consider, you know, this isn't 2 weeks in Tenby. No offence to Tenby, it's not 2 weeks in Eastbourne. No offence to Eastbourne, they're all wonderful places. But this is 18 nights to the other side of the world. Flights, 5-night hotel stay in Sydney, and your 10-night 5-star cruise with drinks and Wi-Fi included. Can't say any fairer than that, can we really? Call us now, 0800 953 4700. Talk to one of our team. You can tailor that package further if you wanted to. Maybe there's something else you want to do on the way back from Sydney. Maybe on a couple of nights in Singapore, Dubai. Talk to the team. We can make it happen as part of your package. 0800 953 4700. So funny. So many people said to me recently, oh, you must love your job. And I'm like, this is not a job. I sit here and deliver good news. That's not a job. That's just easy, isn't it? Let's take another trip down under. And it pretty much follows the first one, actually. It's 19 nights this time, and it starts on the 13th of November in 2026. We're off this time to sail the sights and sounds of New Zealand. That's a lot of S's, isn't it? So let's fly to Sydney, another S in Australia first. And what time to chill out, relax and take in the city. This time we have 4 nights in a hotel in Sydney. And I looked at some of the other things that you can do. That's Luna Park, by the way, that fairground that I was telling you that's right in the heart of the city. It's a bit of a vintage fairground as well. But you can also take a kayak tour of the harbour itself, which would be quite nice to do. There are free walking tours in the city. There's also something called Holy Moly Mini Golf, which I need to have a go at. It's located inside a bar. Okay, I think I might be better at mini golf after 1 or 2 responsibly. Have to give that a try, won't I? When they send me, eventually. So, 4 nights in Sydney. And then we are back on Celebrity Edge and you're on board for 12 nights. Again, classic drinks and Wi-Fi on the menu for you. I have to tell you that your first few hours on Celebrity Edge, you'll just be wandering around and getting your bearings, and it's very easy to do on Celebrity Edge. Everything is beautifully configured. And you'll just be taking picture after picture after picture of places like the rooftop garden, that walkway that we saw next to the pool. There's the magic carpet, by the way. That level, that platform, if you like, can go up and down to different levels. It doesn't move while you're actually on it, but at different levels, it's different things. So one night of the cruise, you can have something called Dinner on the Edge, where the platform will go right the way up, the magic carpet, go right the way up to the highest level, and you enjoy the best views enjoying dinner, which is amazing. At other levels, it becomes a bar. At other levels, it becomes if you're on a tender port, you know, your luxurious kind of foyer, if you like, out to the tender. It's just an amazing ship, it really is. I just loved it being on board. We have to talk about the bedding, and I know whenever I'm sat here with Joe or with Polly, we always talk about the celebrity beds because they're amazing. They're a little bit different to our beds at home. I don't know how they make the beds at all, because I don't know about you, but my mattress is rectangular and I have enough trouble trying to get the sheets in the right place and all the rest of it. Bi-fitted sheets is my thing. But the celebrity beds are actually rounded at the bottom, and I'm like, well, how do they manage that? But those beds are some of the most comfortable, I promise you, that I've ever slept in. And I don't sleep well on a strange bed, but these are far from strange, let me tell you. You just disappear like a dream. It's amazing. Oh, here's something you must try out on Celebrity Edge. It's one of the specialty dining restaurants, so a cover charge for you in Le Petit Chef, where the little animated chef makes the dish like a cartoon on your plate, and then at the end of the cartoon of him making the dish, the real thing arrives from the galley. It's very, very clever. It's amazing, and something you'll probably want to do more than once. Spectacular entertainment as well. I mean, just look at that. I mean, that's Daredevil stuff, isn't it? And so beautifully lit, and the sound. Great parties of an evening as well, things like silent discos, and they'll have white parties and other kind of, you know, elegant occasions for you, which you'll just absolutely love. And it's a good job you've got 12 nights actually, because you are going to need them and love every single one of them. We're cruising out of Sydney, of course, first couple of days at sea, and then we are cruising the amazing Fiordland National Park of New Zealand. This is Dusky Sound, Doubtful Sound and Milford Sound. And they are just beautiful. It's a labyrinth of islands and waterfalls, diverse wildlife. It's really, really a treasured, lovely journey on its own. And then we head through to Dunedin in New Zealand. Now you can take a tour here to the Otago Peninsula, where you can see the unique wildlife, the endangered yellow-eyed penguins are there, the sea lions and the albatross everywhere. Very, very nice. Next on to Christchurch. This is on a lot of people's lists, actually. You can take an excursion to Queenstown here and discover the resort area with the beautiful mountain scenery and the old mining communities. There's a steamship cruise you can take there as well. Day at sea, we're in Tauranga in New Zealand. Now, they have a geothermal mud bath here, which sounds rather nice, in Rotorua, which would be a very, very nice experience, a very unique experience to go and do. Very good for the skin, I believe, as well. Next, we're off to Auckland in New Zealand. Now, you can take a Rangitoto Island hike here as well, which is really scenic across the summit of Auckland's youngest volcano, which gives you views right the way around not only the city, but the islands that surround it as well. Talking of islands, we go to the Bay of Islands next, which is just off New Zealand, where you can take a wonderful forest walk and you can see the huge and very, very rare trees here that are up to 2,500 years old. Very nice to do. Lots of shore excursions and opportunities along the way. Last couple of days at sea, and we arrive back into Sydney to then fly back to the UK. But you know, I never like to talk about that bit because it's all about what you're doing in the holiday. I don't want to think about coming back. When you go on a holiday like this, you never want to think about coming back. But what an adventure you will have had right the way through New Zealand. Again, you know, Australia and New Zealand, it's great to do those together. Kind of makes sense to do those together in one holiday because it is a long journey to get you out there in the first place. So get all of that travelling out the way and then do as much as you possibly can. So this is your opportunity to really indulge in Sydney and explore the natural wonders and the hotspots of New Zealand all in one. It's 19 nights. We include your flights to and from Sydney in Australia, a 4-night hotel stay there before your 12-night cruise, which is inclusive as well. Remember, you've got your classic drinks package and Wi-Fi while you're on Celebrity Edge, exploring the New Zealand Fiordlands and the Sounds, Dunedin, Christchurch, Tauranga, Auckland and the beautiful Bay of Islands, back to Sydney. And now comes the price tag. You're going to love this as well. Again, we can put a deposit on this. It's just £199 each today to lock in the price tag that we have for you. Are you joking, Mr. P? Is that number right that I can see in front of my eyes? Yeah, it seems to match that one as well. Wowzers. I get the number come up on a screen in front of me just before it comes up here for you. And I just saw that and just thought, wowzers. You know, you dream about these parts of the world. You think, oh yeah, it must be nice. You hear people talking about it that have been to places like this. They never talk about how much it is because you know it's too much most of the time. £199 each deposit for you to get your hands on this holiday. This is really advanced planning. Just to put this in context as well, your classic drinks and Wi-Fi value that's wrapped up in there as well is worth over $1,300 per person. Not just together, that's each. That's brilliant. And that's part of your deal. Drinks and Wi-Fi while you're on the cruise. Okay, well, we know now how good this is. Let's check out the upgrade, shall we? Let's check out Ocean View and Balcony. 12-night cruise. Well, 12-night cruise and £199 Ocean View price. I have to say, almost has to be done, doesn't it? Straight away. But I do know a lot of people, if you're really going for a holiday like this, you know, do want the balcony, and the balconies on Edge are a little bit different than traditional balconies in so much as they're called an infinite balcony. I'll come back and I'll explain to you in words and pictures what that means in just a second by doing a little game of charades. But if that deal is for you, call us right now and get the deposit in. It's 0800 953 4700. Right, so you know a traditional balcony, you either open the doors like that or you pull the handle down and open the door like that, right? So on Celebrity, your cabin is actually bigger. So rather than having a door that leads to your outside balcony, you have a longer cabin and then the window is in two halves. Sorry, this is like play school now, isn't it? You press a button at the side of the window, the top half of the window goes down, creates the balcony, which gives you an actual stateroom, which is about 20-something% bigger than it would normally be. Genius. And they're really nice as well. Anyway, I must move on. Now I've done my charades. Is it a book? Is it a film? Is it a play? Anyway, finally, in this Celebrity Cruises special from Cruise1st, we are showcasing the picture-perfect, peaceful paradise of the South Pacific, Fiji and New Zealand, and they all sound absolutely amazing and are on the wish lists of so many holiday makers. So let's make it happen with a low deposit for you today. It's a 19-night trip and it starts on the 28th of February in 2026, and this time we're flying from the UK out to Auckland in New Zealand for a 3-night hotel stay there. Another fascinating city. I love researching these cities and seeing what you can go and do, and I think sometimes if I was going to a city, I would say, you know what, that beach that we just saw there just looks amazing. I could just sit there and watch the sunrise and the sunset every single day. I'd be very, very happy. But there are lots and lots of adventures you can have. You just saw the tower there, the observation tower, which looks really, really good. You can go clear kayaking at Goat Island, which sounds good. Clear kayak, I've never heard of one of those before, but that's a good way of seeing the fish swimming underneath you, but without getting wet yourself, which sounds like my kind of kayaking. Thank you very much. Larnach Castle is not too far away as well. New Zealand's only real castle. It's beautiful. So you've got 3 nights in a hotel there. Back on Celebrity Edge we go. Let's talk you through what happens up on the pool deck as well, because the pool deck is very, very glamorous on board Celebrity Edge. You can see that it has lovely, what are they called, jacuzzi whirlpool baths at the corners of the pools, and they're actually shaped like champagne glasses, so you're actually sitting high above the pool, which is very, very elegant and very, very nice. And you'll see that they've got these sculptures and these artworks all around. I promise you, you'll be taking pictures of you and yours in front of those, left, right and centre. You love the fact that, you know, obviously we're in a very, very temperate part of the world, so you want to be outside a lot of the time. You want to be just, you know, soaking in the sun, sitting out there, reading your book or whatever it might be, you know, glass of something responsibly in one hand, book in the other, just lapping it all up and enjoying it. But every element of this cruise is something special. Great activities going on for you. So if you've got a sea day going on, there's plenty of activities on the programme if you want to. And the great thing is you can dip in and out of them as you want to. If you want to do absolutely nothing and rise at 11:30 in the morning, you've missed the sunrise, and go straight to brunch, not a problem whatsoever. You will love the dining choices of an evening. You'll love the speciality options, of which there are many and plenty for you to enjoy. This is the kind of holiday where someone who is very, very busy, someone who finds it very, very difficult to stop and relax, someone who works very, very hard, someone who is constantly on the go, this is the right cruise for them. I'll tell you why. You've got your Wi-Fi included, so yes, you can keep in touch with friends and family, you can keep in touch with the news if you really, really want to, but essentially the whole design of the ship is designed to make you feel relaxed. Nothing's difficult, everything's easy. The way spaces flow from one to another is beautifully thought out. You can see that the biggest design names in the world have had their hand on the design of these ships. And it makes the whole experience something akin to, you know, some people escape to those big country hotels and they'll go for a weekend just as a real chill out and an escape. But it's just a hotel and it's just a room with a nice restaurant and lovely grounds maybe. On a ship like this, you have so much to fill your day, or so many spaces to chill out and just completely and utterly relax and just enjoy the great service and the fabulous sleep and just the great surroundings. It's awesome. So we're sailing out of Auckland. We've got 13 nights of cruising. Let's cruise to the Bay of Islands first. You can take a tall ship adventure here and hoist the mainsail on deck and enjoy stunning coastal views as you become one of the crew for a day tour. That would be quite nice to do, wouldn't it? Then we've got a couple of days at sea to Suva in Fiji. Now this is pure paradise, this part of the world, and the Kolo e Suva Forest Park is well worth exploring. It's a rainforest with hiking trails, waterfalls and swimming holes as well. Next we cruise on to Lautoka in Fiji. Now you can take a catamaran cruise here if you fancy it and just have a lovely day on a blissful beach at nearby Savala Island, surrounded by a coral lagoon and swaying palm trees. Sound all right? Yeah, sounds lovely, doesn't it? Day at sea, we are in Apia in Samoa, and you can go to the Papasia sliding rocks here, which is a unique experience sliding down natural rock formations into a cool pool of water. I would try that, I think. Then we're crossing the international date line and we end up in Pago Pago, which is American Samoa, and you can have a wonderful cultural experience here on an excursion and take part in a special ceremony conducted by High Chief, which would be quite nice to do. Tauranga is next after a few days at sea and crossing the international date line again. The Waka Wirara village is the one. It's a Maori village that you can visit here and learn about traditional uses of geothermal springs, which is really useful, like how to cook in them and how to heat from them, which would be very, very interesting indeed. Then we sail back into Auckland in New Zealand, and that's where we'll fly you back to the UK. Fascinating holiday, I mean, from start to finish. Some places you'll recognise, I'm sure, on the itinerary list, some less so, like the Fijian Islands, which all have their very own character, attraction. And actually this itinerary is so in step with the ship you're on. You know, relaxing paradise destinations, relaxing paradise ship. You know, put those two things together, it just works amazingly for you. And remember, those paradise destinations are in New Zealand and the South Pacific. And you've got 19 nights overall. And this is the end of February in 2026. So let's talk about the low deposit first. Just £199 per person. And that includes your flights to and from Auckland in New Zealand. You've got a 3-night hotel stay there, and then your 13-night cruise on Celebrity Edge with its 5-star beauty and quality. And don't forget, classic drinks package included and Wi-Fi as part of your cruise. And you're cruising your way through the Bay of Islands, Fiji, and the South Pacific back to Auckland. Oh my word, we've done it again. Oh my word, we've put these 3 offers side by side in this show, and they're all very tempting. Luckily, I checked, none of them clash. In fact, the first 2 offers follow each other literally in date, and then this one is much earlier, isn't it, in February in 2026. But get that low deposit in today, £199 per person today deposit, and that price is locked in for you. Again, just to put it in context, the drinks and the Wi-Fi that have been included here, that's over $1,400 worth of value per person, and that's part of your deal. It's why we say that actually when it comes to a deal and an offer like this, we won't be beaten. We are so doggedly determined we will not be beaten. And that's on every cruise as well. You know, we are talking about a luxury, a 5-star cruise here, the other side of the world. It's amazing. Here's the details to upgrade for this one then. So there's your, done it again, haven't we? £99 deposit to Ocean View. It's a 13-night cruise and it's just $299 more to go to balcony. Remember, that's the bigger stateroom balcony as well, because it's not like a balcony to the outside. It's your full-length window where the top half comes down and creates the balcony, the infinite veranda. Oh my word. Well, listen, the choice is yours. It's a toughie, this one, isn't it? Maybe you want to watch the show again. You can. It's on our YouTube channel. You'll find it there 24 hours a day, kind of on your demand. But if you like the sound of any of those offers, you can tinker with the stays as well, of course, on any of those. Just talk to the team, 0800 953 4700. You've got any questions, by the way? There is no, I promise you, absolutely promise you, there's no such thing as a silly question. So call and ask, 0800 953 4700. Chances are that the answer will be yes, one way or the other. Anyway, you go and book. I will see you back here for more fabulous cruise ideas in just a moment.